Happy Tuesday. This is Marcia coming to you from sunny Florida and Markets of Sunshine. Today is all about being thankful. So today I'm going to share with you how I remain thankful, even living with Lyme disease, even living with a chronic illness, and even having a dysfunctional childhood and many traumatic things that have happened to me in my past. But you know what? I'm here, and I've gotten through them all, and that's what I want to help you do. I want to talk to you about let's be positive together. Let's get rid of the negativity. Let's empower each other with love and kindness and just sharing and generosity and gratitude. So that's what my Tuesdays videos are going to be all about, are being thankful and how we can shower ourselves and our family and our friends with all of these wonderful qualities. So yesterday in Maker Monday video, you'll remember that I was embellishing a composition notebook and turning it into a bullet journal. So I showed you the inside, I showed you the stickers that I'm using. Now I wanted to show you what a little bit more I did on the cover. So I added my little laughter sparkles like sunshine. Isn't that cute? That's so encouraging. And then my little border here, and I came back in with some gold metallic paint with the little suitcase stamp and just jazzed it up a little bit more. And then in the back, I wanted to show you what I did is I added a pocket. So I covered the page again with one of the book pages, and then I took my cardstock and I made a double pocket. So there's a pocket here, and then I made a clear pocket in the front. So I've been waiting for this glue to dry, so I don't know. It looks like a little squishy, but I think it's dry. Okay, good enough. So just so that I can show you real quick. Because of course, you know, when I buy something, I don't just buy one thing. When it's something that I know I'm going to use a lot of. And I bought a whole year's worth of stickers from this shop, which I shared with you in yesterday's video. So go back and watch it so that you can see the shop name. Okay, wait a minute. That back sticker was trying to go into the other pocket. So then that goes in there like that. And then these go in the front, so I keep all the short ones in the front. So see? So I would push it all the way in, but because, like I said, this is not dry, I don't want that to make it start to come up. And it's still wet right here, I can see. So I shall take these back out, and I shall put my wax paper back in, because that prevents the glue from sticking to the other papers. Okay, so now we're going to turn to this page. And today, as I mentioned, is all about being grateful and thankful and showing generosity. So I am a Lyme disease survivor. So my sticker here says gratitude, surviving and thriving with Lyme, which I made this myself in Google Docs. By the way, you can go in there and do that and make lots of cute things. You can make all of your own planner pages with Google Docs. And then I put the stickers here more from the pack that I bought from the Etsy seller, which will be in the Sunshine description box below. So today, what is the first thing this morning that I would say that I was grateful for? And that is just being alive. Okay, so that is my first item every day. And it never gets old. It never gets old saying that I'm grateful to be alive today. And when you have come so close to death, which I have in my little lifetime on numerous occasions, but since Lyme disease in the last 16 years, it's not been fun. I can just put it that way. Not been fun. To even get this far with Lyme disease is a milestone. And so many people, sad to say, die within the first few weeks, the first few months. And it just depends on how it affects your body, how strong your body is, and what your lifestyle is already. And, you know, there's just a number of elements that is involved with that. But I'm thankful. I am thankful. So that's why I have this sticker here. And that's why every day I thank God that I'm alive, and I thank Him every morning. And there's been times when, because I didn't sleep well at all for years, I would say probably 7 years, and I would pray, let me die in my sleep. But you know what? I would say, but wait a minute. How am I going to die in my sleep when I don't even sleep? So, but it was like the suffering. I couldn't take the suffering anymore. But finally, all that passed, and it usually does. So if we just count our blessings instead of our thunderstorms, we will find that life is so much better and so much more enjoyable to live. And sometimes we have to make choices that maybe our friends and our family don't understand. And sometimes those choices are limiting our association with them. And that's what they don't really understand. And boy, then the assaults come against you, and the all the little, things that they do to hurt you and harm you. But then when you see that finally, you need to protect yourself. So I'm also thankful for all the loving friends and family that I do have in my life. And that's what you want to surround yourself with, is loving friends and family. So that's the second thing that I'm grateful and thankful for today. The third thing is that even though I have a limited menu for my diet and what I can enjoy every day, and I would say 50% has been taken out of my diet and off of my menu of what I would enjoy that everybody else gets to enjoy. But what I finally learned to do was to stop looking at my limitations and start looking at what I can do, what I can control in my life, and what I can do. And you have to get back to the simple basics. So what's the third thing that I'm grateful for? Are all the things that I can control. And that is something that really empowers you when you're a person who has limitations. So what are the kinds of things that you can control when you have limitations? Let's just stick with me and what my situation is. And you write down what your situation is. And I want you to make a list for everything that you put on your list of what you cannot control. I want you to have a list of what you can control. And that I want you to have a gratitude with surviving and thriving with, and then whatever is your chronic condition. If it's anxiety, if it's depression, what if it's a certain health condition, whatever it is, I want you to make you a little sticker in your journal and have it say gratitude, surviving and thriving with, and whatever is that situation. Okay, you're living with it. So, but now you're going to take control of your life. This Lyme no longer controls my life. It did control it, but it no longer controls it. And how I gain control back is what I'm going to share with you every week on this Thankful Tuesday. Okay? So now, what are the things I can control? I can control what time I go to sleep and go to bed. Not what time I can go to sleep, but what time I can go to bed and what time I get up. So it was my daughter who helped me to realize, after I was talking to her and crying to her, complaining to her about, I can't take it, I didn't sleep again, I'm going to go out of my mind. And so we went through, okay, Mom, what are all the things you are doing to help yourself to be able to try to get to sleep? I was doing them all. Every single thing. I was doing them all. Writing in my gratitude journal every night, making a list of all the things I had done that day, all the things I needed to do the next day, just a brain dump, that's what they call it. So just getting everything out there and writing it down. Because when you keep it in your mind, believe it or not, it doesn't go anywhere. But the minute you get the little paper and pen out and you start writing it down, oh, the brain is just like, oh, thank you for doing that. Now you've freed up all that space in there Thank you so much. And it seemed at first, it was like, oh, that's too simple. It can't work. That's what we all say. But guess what? It did work. So when I continually did it, then I could see better and better and better. And my sleep was slowly, slowly, slowly improving. The next thing I had to do was I had to start identifying, and I had to start doing some research. And you hear things, but you don't know, is that true? Isn't it true? And the only way you're going to find out is you have to do the research on your own. You have to take the time to research it on your own. Just don't go and ask and ask and ask and ask people who are not experts. Do the research yourself. Go to the sources of where the experts are. Where's the information? So one of the things that was giving me a problem was the moon cycle. Believe it or not, some people, they do get affected. So my daughter had worked at a health food store, and she had taken many, many, many courses, had many, many certifications, and so she had learned that the moon cycle, and so many people would come in and complain around the moon cycle of them not being able to sleep. What can you give me to sleep? So then they started seeing this pattern, and sure enough, it was true. And if you do research, you'll find out that some people are affected, and especially when you have any kind of a health condition that affects your sleep and your melatonin levels and your vitamin D levels. I can't get out in the sun, in the heat. And so here we are in Florida, and what do we have? Like 5 months out of the year that's brutal hot humidity. I can't breathe. The minute I step out there, my body does not acclimate. So if it's hot, I'm hot. If it's cold, I'm cold. So I love the winter times here in Florida because I can at least get out and enjoy myself. So the only thing that she said is what she had discovered in something, and I don't remember until she shared the article with me, that when you were going down those lists of all, I was just Google and researching, okay, what can you do to help yourself sleep? And then there's all these lists. Okay, take a warm bath at night. Keep your room a nice cooler climate. Don't get it too warm, but you want it to, don't freeze yourself, but cooler climate. Wear cooler clothing, cooler bedding. Of course, if you're in menopause like me, then you don't, you're going to have hot flashes sometimes. So I found I had to turn down or turn up, whatever they say, the temperature of the AC to about 76. Then, if I have a hot flash, it won't wake me up. That was the problem. They were waking me up, and then you're sweating. So if I just keep it cold enough and dress lightly, then if I have the hot flash, because when I started sleeping, and then lo and behold, it took a month. But I would go to bed at the same time, and I would get up at the same time. And I had to set the alarm on my phone, so that was another new thing that I hadn't done. I was just used to sleeping and just get up when I would get up. It could be 10 a.m., it could be 11 a.m., it could be 9 a.m., it could be 8 a.m., it could be 6 a.m., it could be 7 a.m. I mean, it was all over the place. So when I finally said, okay, I'm going to go to bed at 9:30, I'm going to get up at 9:30. And then slowly, 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 my body started resetting my internal clock. And then the second thing I was able to do is I was getting sunshine just by standing in front of the window in the morning where the sun comes in, where the sun rises on the east, and standing there for 20 minutes and just rotating my little body like a rotisserie and getting sun for 20 minutes because I get too hot on this side. Okay, I got to turn on this side. Okay, so all of these things, So if you want to learn anything, if you ever need any help with anything, just ask Marcia. She can direct you. Go research this, and it works. And so finally, after a month, wow, I started sleeping. I was so rejoicing. I was so thankful. I would just thank God every night. Oh, thank you. When I woke up, I'm like, I slept. I actually slept. And I feel so much better. I feel just mentally better. And then like all the body aches and pains, even that was what was contributing to that, was because of a lack of sleep. And then all these other immune system responses. I have eczema. The eczema would be better. Just so many things. So write down what it is you can control. So this is what was the fun part, okay? My body got adjusted to that time. And even though my husband, because he's a night owl, and he gets home late, so then he eats late, so then his digestion is still going, so he can't go to sleep early. So he tries to keep me up. But I was like, no, I put my foot down and I said, no, I am going to sleep. And he has a sleep issue too, but he will not follow any kind of a protocol like this. He's just too stubborn. And that's the problem. If you lack willpower, and if you do not love yourself enough, it comes down to that. And I'm sorry, but it's a brutal truth. And if you get upset with it, that's your choice. Perfectly happy to get upset. I don't say it to make you upset. I say it to make you think about it and to look at yourself and take a good hard look at yourself. You need to do that. And I tell my husband, stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, I love you, you're worth whatever changes I need to make so that I can reach the goal I'm trying to reach. I love you, you're worth whatever changes I need to make so that I can reach the goal I'm trying to reach. So I do it, and maybe more women are willing to do it than men. It seems silly at first, but once you say it to yourself enough times and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and sometimes the response that you get, at first you might laugh. You can't even look at yourself. But then as time goes by, and if you will do this regularly until you believe it, you have to begin to believe it. I learned this back when I was in my teens. Again, because of my dysfunctional family, and I don't know, I must have seen something at school, or I must have read it at school, maybe it was a movie, I don't even know how I learned it, I don't remember. But somewhere along the lines, I learned to look at myself in the mirror and to tell myself, you are lovable. You are worth loving. I love myself. And I will no longer accept abusive relationships. And I had to stand up to my family. It was hard. It was very hard. And so once I learned to do that, it empowered me in so many ways. So just doing that. So stand in front of the mirror and empower yourself. If you have anxiety, stand in front of that mirror and tell yourself, I love you, and I'm willing to make the changes so that I no longer have anxiety issues, so that I no longer have panic attacks. I'm willing to do whatever the doctors tell me to do so that I cannot suffer and have this happen to me anymore. But some people love wallowing in self-pity. Some people love suffering. Some people do not want to change. And that was a harsh reality when my doctors told me that. And they would ask me, when I was a new patient, do you really want to get well? And I would look at them with some crazy look on my face and I would go, what are you talking about? Yes, why do you think I'm here spending thousands of dollars? And they said, well, guess what? There's people who come in and they're spending thousands of dollars and they love being sick because they get the attention. They love the attention. When they are not sick, they don't get the attention. They can't cry to people. They can't boo-hoo to people. They can't bemoan to people. And I said, yeah, but I'm a person who's constantly ill and dealing with all this stuff. I don't want pity. I don't want people saying that. So when people ask me how am I doing, I said, I'm fine. I'm doing good. I'm okay. I don't go into it. Why? Because I know they don't care. They don't want to hear it. So don't dump your suffering off on people. They don't have the time. They're going through their own suffering. Okay. That's my soapbox on that. I'm sorry. I had to get it off my chest. Now, moving right along here. So I hope you got that. Go back and replay it and remember what you're supposed to say to yourself standing in front of the mirror, and you're going to take control of your life. And you're going to make a gratitude list. You're going to make this list of surviving and thriving with whatever it is you have. Now, number 4. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful that I have the power to change my life. Not the world, not somebody else's life, not my husband's life, not my daughter's life, not my mother's life, not my friend's life, my life. So I want you to write this down. I have the power to change my life. That's the only person you can change. You cannot change anyone else. Okay, everyone's thinking is different. We have similarities, but our thinking is different, and it's based on us. Everybody's agenda is based on themselves. Okay, and finally, when you can understand that and realize that, life will be so much happier. You'll enjoy things so much better. And we can talk and we can throw words out there, and people can say all the kind of things they want to say, and they can say all the exploits with it along the way that they want to say. And you know what happens? For me, when they start adding in all the exploits, they've just turned me off right then and there. Because even with myself, I grew up in a family. My father was a sailor. He was a truck driver. Need I say more? He was a redneck, Floridian, okay, country boy. I won't even go any further, but, you know, thankfully he didn't use the F word, because that's where I draw the line. I mean, it's demoralizing, and you can be a genius, but if you start using those words, you're no longer a genius. You're no longer a person who has anything that I want to hear, okay? It doesn't give you more power. It doesn't give you more authority. It turns you into a person that's like this tall, okay? Really. In your own life and to other people. So maybe other people enjoy those words. They love those words. They think those words are just empowering them. So good. They're just, 100 feet tall. But in reality, it's not at all. So when you can speak without all of those colorful, unnecessary words, that's when you can reach people's heart. The minute you start cussing at people and at things, you've just lost all authority. You've just lost all your power. You've just lost all your influence. People will not be moved unless you speak genuine words, true words from the heart. So the minute you throw in all these ugly, nasty words that do not have any place in anyone's life, in our thinking at all, because it immediately makes you untrue to yourself. But when you can honestly think and listen to your own voice without those words, then that's when you can make changes. So, again, write down, I have the power to change my life. And what I do is when I'm on a channel and they start throwing those words out and I'm listening to an interview and those words start to come out, there it is. I have the power to go click the little button. The interview is over. The viewing is over. The listening is over. So that person, believe it or not, when they think that they're going to make a difference, they're actually turning people off. But if they would leave all those things out, they would reach more people that could actually help them make it whatever it is that they're talking about. So I've never seen anybody with Lyme disease who was addressing Congress or any doctor or medical field ever. I've never seen an interview with one yet. Maybe there's ours out there because I don't watch them all the time, where they start talking about that and talking that way. Why? Why? How does it work? How does it? It's not even. They're not even true words. They were made up. Anyway, okay, that's my pet peeve about that. I can't stand it. That's it. You see me less in Facebook groups with people who think and talk that way, and they can be the most intelligent people. They can really have a message that I was enjoying until they do that. And then that's when they immediately lose my respect and they lose my following. Okay, so moving on. Now, my goals for the rest of the day are going to be to finish this video and get it made. And one of my goals is, which I should put it over here on my goals list, is to actually learn how to edit videos. Okay, this is one of my goals. Alrighty then. And I was using, I think it was like Adobe Spark. But there's something with that program that messes up my computer. It freezes it up. It puts viruses on it. I've had to call Microsoft and tech people. So I said, wow. So I'm afraid, and they told me don't download things. That's what they said. I said, my goodness, well, how are you supposed to do anything? So I was thinking, which even though I've always had a reason, let me put it that way, price was more of it than anything, of why I wouldn't use Apple products. Because I feel like it's a highway robbery that they have the audacity to charge what they charge. But that's my personal opinion. It doesn't matter. They're getting away with it. They're making billions of dollars. They're loving it. And that was, but anyway. So it's like Apple has the iMovie. And I was watching one girl's channel. I don't remember her name. She was there's been 2 girls that I found lately. That they really had girls, I call them girls, young women, that really had a very good teaching ability. Loved them. So I'm going to go back and watch the one. She did have a little bit of info on an Android. But again, from the phone, I don't know. I can't master that itty bitty little thing. I don't know. I like my desktop, 22-inch screen, the big keyboard, the mouse, all that kind of thing. And so she's showing you iMovie, and she has a tablet. And she's just moving it back and forth and putting things in and all that kind of thing, And I said, oh, and everybody keeps saying, iMovie, iMovie, iMovie. So I'm this close. I don't even know, can you get anything? With Spectrum, they have an offer right now that I could get an iPhone, and I believe it's the same size as the one I'm recording with from my Android smartphone, for $16 a month for 2 years. So I said, well, and see, in my mind, that's how, if I'm really going to spend something expensive, and they're not going to charge me interest, which is that's the second plus. And I don't like the 5G though, because I have a problem with geopathic stress and electromagnetic field. I'm very, very sensitive to all that. Can't have Wi-Fi in my house, so. So my question is going to be to them. What about if I could get a tablet and, I don't know, can you do the phone on your tablet? Anyway, I need something bigger, even that little phone. So that was why I said, no, see, I don't want the little phone. I'm going to upgrade. So anyhow, so I asked this in my other videos, and I keep asking, and I keep asking, and I keep asking. So I'm going to just keep asking. If you know of an easy drop and drag, so easy drop and drag, that all I have to do is go in to a PC editing program that I can easily drop and drag. I want to put a little intro and be able to speed it up. That's my main thing I want to do. I want to be able to, and then talk over, voiceover. So record, speed it up the process, like if I'm, what I'm creating. Not obviously when I'm doing this, and then come back over and do the voiceover. I mean, and sad to say, because now, thanks to coronavirus, I can't have my daughter or nephew come over, and son-in-law, help me, because I know that they could do it in a snap. We bought a HDMI, I think that's how the name of it, cord from my flat screen TV, which we got several years ago, to the desktop. And I tried to order it online on Amazon, and then when you get it, oh, guess what? Which they don't tell you. You need a little adapter in addition to this. But when we tried to get the adapter, it was the wrong size. So I had to send everything back. So Best Buy had it, of course, $70. So that's why my husband at first was like, oh no, just try to get it on Amazon. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Which we did, and we wound up having to send it back anyway. So the 68 thing worked, and I told him, get a 20-foot cord. Don't come home with no 6-foot cord. So I think he got a 10-footer. Was that we had measured it and estimated. I think 10 would be good, because you got to go, behind the TV, around the corner, and then behind the computer, which is actually, it was in front of the thing. So I got this cord I'm constantly dealing with. So okay, genius. We got it all done. But guess what? The TV screen is white. Is blue. So I'm like, how come the picture is not showing up from the desktop to the TV? Now, if you have a laptop, I hope you're following me here now. If you have a laptop, because this is what my daughter used to do, you can plug in that cord and the picture, boom, it immediately shows up on the TV. But with the desktop, it doesn't do that. So now my husband and I are sitting there looking at each other going, we spent $70 on this cord. And how come it's not working? So there was, and then thankfully there was 2 pieces. So you have the one piece from the TV, then you did have to plug in another piece and put that into the computer. So then, before coronavirus, thank goodness, my daughter and son-in-law are over, and I tell them what happened. And I said, I don't understand, because the Best Buy swore that this was going to work. So he immediately knew, because they had the situation come up at their meeting, and they were trying to get something to come onto the screen from the computer, and they realized, because of all the tech people that, that they have in the department, and he's like, oh, you come up here to the top, and you just slide it over, and you slide it to the TV. So I had to watch him do it. So I don't have a, wireless mouse, so you have to hold the mouse on the pad, and then you so now you're watching, because now here's the TV here to the right, so now you're holding this and you're watching as here's the desktop, you're watching it go across, then you get to the TV, you see it go across, and then you hit the big box to maximize it, and voila! So that's what I have to go through each time. So I don't know, even though this is Thankful Tuesday, but see, if you stick around and you watch all my videos, you're going to learn tips that you didn't know, because I bet you didn't know that, did you? Huh? Mm-hmm. You didn't know that. And if you did know it, put it in the comments box below. But be honest, if it's something new that you learned, I want you to put in the comments box today. Tell me all the things you've heard me talk about, what you did not know, and what you've learned new today. Okay? All right, so there you have it. Now, moving on, we're going to talk about Happy Mail. So the first Happy Mail I'm going to share, first thing I'm going to share is our Facebook group, Junk Journal Junction. Okay, so everything to do with sewing journals, altered books, bullet journals, crafting, sewing,